depreciation. What is depreciation? All right. So what is depreciation? Let's take an example to understand the meaning of the depreciation. Let's understand it this way. Let's suppose there is a person, Mr. Ramesh. For example, Ramesh have bought a brand new car in the year 2015. He bought a car. And on that date, the value of car was, let's suppose, it was 30 lakh. Value of car was 30 lakh. Now, from that date, he used that car for traveling purpose. And now, in the year 2022, we want to find out the value of that car. Now, you tell me, what do you think, whether the value of the car must have increased or decreased? Value of the car,
it might have decreased
because of the usage of this car for the during the last 7 years. Basically, he have used this car for 7 years. After 7 years, tell me, what do you think, whether the value of the car will increase or decrease? What do you think? Whether
decreased.
Yes, it might decrease. Yes, that is right. Now, let me tell you, in the year 2022, if we evaluate the value of the same car, currently, the value of this car is only, let's suppose, 16 lakhs. Or let's suppose it is only 12 lakhs. So that means after a period of 7 years, there is a reduction in the value of that car. There is a reduction in the value of car. So there is a reduction of what amount? Reduction in value of car by rupees 18 lakh. Value of the car fall by 18 lakh rupees. All right. So this reduction in the value of the car over a period of time, in accounts, this is what we call depreciation. This is called depreciation. So depreciation is nothing but the reduction in the value of any asset. Like in this case, car is an asset for Mr. Ramesh. And due to the passage of time or due to the use of car over the period of time, there must have some wear and tear. Because of the wear and tear in the car, or due to the use of car, the value of the car will decrease to rupees 12 lakh. So this reduction is known as depreciation. So depreciation is what? Depreciation can be defined as a reduction in the value of any asset. In fact, any tangible asset over a period of time because of the uses of such asset, because of the wear and tear, because of passage of time, because of, let's suppose, it may be because the value of the car declined to 12 lakh because of the fact that car get outdated over the period of time. It could also be the reason, because technology evolves over the period of time. And as technology evolves, a particular technology gets outdated, and because of the outdatation of that technology, price of that asset also decreases over the period of time. So what I'm trying to explain is And the reduction that is happening in the value of the asset, reduction will be called depreciation. But when it comes to the reason why there is a reduction in the value of the asset, reason could be anything. Reason could be outdatation of the asset over the period of time, outdatation of the asset over a period of time because of the evolution of the technology, because of the better technology is now available in the market. This could be the reason. Because of the wear and tear of the product. Why product will wear and tear? Because of the usage of the product over the period of time. Sometimes value of the asset decreases just because of the passage of time. Because of passage of time or afflux of time. This is what we call. This is also known as afflux of time. Passage of time. All right. And sometimes the value of the asset also reduces because of the accident. Let's suppose car met with an accident. And as soon as the car met with an accident, the value of the car fall by 5-7 lakh rupees. All right, so the reduction that is happening in the value of the car is considered as the depreciation. And the reason for that could be outdatation, wear and tear, passage of time, accident, or any other factor. All right, is that clear, everybody? Manisha and Labiba, is that clear to you, both of you? Okay, so with that, let's try to understand the meaning of the depreciation through the PowerPoint. Let me explain that to you. Depreciation, as it is written here, it says depreciation refers to the fall in the value of tangible fixed asset because of its usage, afflux of time, obsolescence, accident. Right? So when the value of any tangible fixed asset reduces over the period of time because of the use of such asset, because of the passage of time, because of obsolescence, it means because the asset get outdated, or if it met with an accident, or because of any other factor, if there is decrease in the value of the asset, such reduction in the value of the asset will be called depreciation. I hope this point is clear, everybody. Please confirm if this is clear or not. Okay. Now, see, can we avoid depreciation? Is it possible that the reduction in the value of the asset can be avoided? Answer is no. Depreciation is permanent. Irrespective of the asset, whether which kind of asset it is not important. Irrespective of the asset, if the asset is of tangible nature, value of the asset will decline over the period of time, no matter what. You cannot just control the reduction in the value of the asset. Value of the asset is going to reduce over the period of time. And therefore, we call depreciation is a permanent phenomena. It is permanent. We just cannot ignore or avoid depreciation. We just cannot ignore and avoid you just cannot ignore the reduction in the value of the asset. It will happen no matter what. Then now since we are discussing the depreciation from the accounting point of view, so we'll talk about how do we actually calculate depreciation. We'll be talking from the accounting point of view in this chapter, and we'll learn about how to calculate the value of depreciation. But in order to calculate depreciation, in order to calculate the value of depreciation for any asset, we need to have at least 3 information. We need to know the value, we need to have at least 3 information. First of all, we must know the life of the asset that we have bought, then the cost of that asset, and the salvage value or the scrap value of the asset. Unless and until we have these information, we won't be able to calculate the value of the depreciation. Let me explain this a little more. See, until now, I just explained the depreciation, which I explained as depreciation is the reduction in the value of the asset. Reduction in or fall in value of asset over a period of time, over a period of time. Reasons, there could be various reasons. Now, after that, I told you that depreciation is a permanent phenomena. You just cannot ignore it and avoid it. It is permanent. All right. Then I told you, as far as the calculation of depreciation is concerned, for calculation purpose, if you are willing to find out the depreciation of any asset, and for that purpose, you need to have at least 3 information regarding that. That's it. Like, for example, if you want to find out the value of the depreciation for any machinery. So, in relation to machinery, you need to have 3 information. First of all, cost of that machinery. This is called cost of asset. You need to have some information about the cost of asset. Let's suppose asset was bought for rupees. This machinery was bought for rupees 10 lakhs. The cost of asset was 10 lakhs. Then we should have the information about the life of this machinery. Let's presume that this machinery will last for around 20 years. Life of this machinery is called life of asset. Life of asset will be, like, for example, it will be 20 years. This machine will last for around 20 years. And after completion of 20 years, we can still sell this machine in scrap and realize some value of even after 20 years. Right now, even after the period of 20 years, we can just sell this machinery in scrap and we will be in a position to realize some amount on account of sale of this machinery, right? Let's suppose its scrap value of this machine. Scrap value means realizable value of the asset after the life of the asset. The life of the asset is 20 years. Once the life of the asset expires, if we can sell this and realize some value, that will be called scrap value. Let's suppose even after the period of 20 years, we can sell this machinery in scrap and we will be able to realize 2 lakh rupees as a scrap value of this machine. Right. So having these information, we will be able to calculate the value of the depreciation. And let me show you how do we actually calculate it. This is just an example. We'll talk about various questions. We'll discuss various questions in this chapter. I'm just giving you a small example. So if you are willing to find out the depreciation, what you need to do, you will apply this formula. Depreciation equals to cost of asset minus scrap value, or this is also scrap value is also known as salvage value. Salvage value of asset divided by the life of asset. So you should have these 3 information, otherwise you won't be able to find out the value of the depreciation. Now let's just put all the values in this formula. So as I told you, cost of the asset was 10 lakh rupees minus scrap value or salvage value, which is 2 lakh, that is also given in the question. And apart from this, we need to divide this by life of the asset, that is life of the machinery, which is 20 years. All right, so now we will multiply this. This will be 18 lakh divided by 2 and 20 years. So this will give you 90,000. Depreciation, amount of depreciation is 90,000. That means this machinery is going to reduce annually at a rate of 90,000. Every year, this machinery will be reducing by 90,000. This is the value of the depreciation for this particular machinery, considering that its life is 20. All right, I hope you understand, everybody. Is that clear, yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Is this clear, yes? Okay. Now let me explain it again. What I told you, I just covered the meaning of the depreciation wherein I said depreciation is the reduction in the value of the asset over a period of time. Depreciation is permanent, and in order to calculate depreciation, we need to have at least 3 information about the asset. Like we need to have some information about the cost of asset, we should know the life of asset, and we should also have the salvage value or the scrap value of the asset. Unless and until these information are available, you won't be able to determine the depreciation. Okay, so let's talk about the various method of depreciation. But before that, I want both of you to note this down quickly. Start with the meaning of depreciation. Also note this slide and also write this down. All right. Please start writing this in a notebook. Let me know whenever you want me to proceed to the next slide. Is that clear, Vanisha, Labiba?
Yes, sir.
All right.
Done, sir.
Done, Labiba?
Yes, sir.
Labiba, you are done or not?
Yeah, I'm there.
No problem. Please write this down as well. Done? Done, Vanisha? You're still doing it?
Yes, sir. Done.
Okay. Write this down. Lavibai, you're done now?
Yes, sir.
Done. Shall we move to the next slide?
No, sir. This one. That's all.
Labiba, confirm whether you are done or not.
Yes, I'm done.
One more line, okay. Done, Labiba. Shall we move?
Yes, sir.
All right. So this was the basic concept about the depreciation, wherein we discussed the meaning, and I also told you how for in order to determine depreciation what we need to have. All right, so let's move to the next point. Let's talk about the various methods by which depreciation can be calculated. So this will be your next heading, and you need to write this along with me. I'm writing this, and you should also note this down. Methods for calculating amount of method of calculating amount of depreciation. So see, we have two methods to find out depreciation. One is called the straight line method. Straight line method. And then there is written down value method. Straight line method and written down value method. The straight line method is also known as equal installment method. Or this is also called fixed installment method. Alright, so straight line method, whether you call it straight line method, equal installment method, fixed installment method, all are same. Alright. On the other hand, written down value method is also known as reducing balance method. Reducing balance method. Or this is also called diminishing balance method. Now, students, pay attention, try to understand. I'm not saying that there are these number of methods. There are only two methods to find out depreciation. You can find out depreciation either by written down value method, which is also called written down value method. This is also called WDV method. And then there is a method which is called straight line method, or this is in short, this is also known as SLM method. SLM. So broadly classifying, we have two methods only to determine the depreciation, SLM method and the WDV method. But this SLM method is SLM method is also known as equal installment or fixed installment method. Similarly, WDV is also known as reducing balance or diminishing balance. So there are only two methods. All right. So you don't have to be worried that there are so many methods that we need to cover in this chapter. There are only two methods, WDV and SL. We will be solving questions based on only these. There are other methods as well, but those methods are not covered in your syllabus. So as per our syllabus, we'll be discussing about these two methods only. I hope this is clear, both of you. Please confirm if it is clear, yes or no. Anisha and Laviba, is that clear to you?
Yes, sir.
You guys have,
yes, sir. Both of you are writing this down, yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Done, or you are still writing it?
I'm still writing it, sir.
All right. Do it quickly. Done, both of you?
Yes, sir.
Done, Manisha, you're done as well?
Yes, sir.
Okay then. Alright, so these are the various methods. So let's start solving the question based on the SLM method only. We'll first of all discuss SLM method and then we'll move to the WDV method. So let's discuss a question based on this method. And here we go. We'll discuss this question. It says calculate the amount of annual depreciation and rate of depreciation under straight line method from the following information. Purchase a second-hand machine of rupees 96,000. Spend 24,000 on its cartridge. Repair and installation. Estimated useful life of machine is 4 years. Estimated residual value is rupees 72,000. So considering this, we need to find out the depreciation in this question. But by which method? By the straight line method. But I need to tell you the formula as well. Na? So as far as the straight line method is concerned, for a straight line method, the formula is, write this down when you know. For SLM, the formula is depreciation or annual depreciation is equal to cost of asset minus the scrap value of that asset divided by life of asset or estimated life of asset. All right.
Yes, sir.
And sometimes question asks you to find out the rate of depreciation. Sometimes apart from the amount of depreciation, question also requires you to find out the rate of depreciation. So in that case, in order to find out the rate of depreciation, formula will be amount of depreciation that we calculate by applying the above formula. We'll divide that by the cost of asset. So by dividing the depreciation by the cost of asset, multiplying it by 100, we will get the rate of depreciation. All right. So since we are going to discuss a question based on this SLM method, so we'll cover this formula only. We'll be talking about the WDV formula later. When we'll cover the question based on the WDV, written down value method, then I'll let you know about that formula. And that at that moment you leave some space here and write down the formula here later. I'm not going to discuss the WDV method right now. We'll just focus upon the SLM method. So having said that, let's move to the question. I want you to take the screenshot of this question. Quickly take a screenshot and pay attention. Try to understand what question is actually trying to say, or what question is asking us to calculate. It says calculate amount of annual depreciation and rate of depreciation under the SLM straight line method from the following information. All right. Done with the screenshot?
Yes, sir.
Okay then. So let's start with the solution discussion. Solution to question number 1. Since we need to find out the annual depreciation, we'll apply this formula. Annual depreciation equals to cost of assets minus cost of asset minus scrap value divided by life of asset. Right? Now, we'll put the value here, but first of all, let's prepare a working note here. First of all, we'll find out the cost of asset, whether it is given in the question or not. Let's try to figure out whether the cost of asset is given in the question or not. See, it says purchase a second-hand machine of rupees 96,000. So this is the cost of machine. Now, we have purchased a machine having a value of 96,000. So what is this? This is this cost of asset. Yes or no?
Yes,
Tell me
sir.
whether this is cost of asset. Yes. So purchase, amount of purchase is the cost of asset. Then we have spent 24,000 on cartridge and installation. Remember this, keep that in mind. It will help you to solve the other questions as well. Whatever the amount that is spent until the installation of a particular asset is part of the cost of asset. Amount spent until the installation of the asset is considered as the part of the cost of the asset. You understand that? 24,000 is the cartridge repair and installation expense. Because it is an expense for the installation of the machinery, that will be considered as the part of cost of asset. So the total cost of asset will be what? Purchase amount of the machine, purchase amount of machine. Yes or no? Purchase amount of machine. And apart from this, we'll also add cartridge, repairs, and installation expense. All right, do you understand that? Now, what was the purchase amount of machine? It was 96,000, isn't it? Yes. And the installation cost was 24,000, including cartridge and repairs, 24,000. So whatever the amount that we incur until the installation of the machine, until the installation of the asset is part of the cost of asset. So the total value of the asset will be, tell me, it will be 1,20,000. Is that right? Yes or no? Tell me quickly, Labika.
Yes, sir.
And okay, Tanisha. So let's try put 1,20,000 here. And then we will subtract the scrap value. Let's try to find out whether the scrap value is given in the question or not. Whether this is given in the question, scrap value. What do you think? The scrap value is given in the question? Yes or no? Yes. At the end of this question, it
Yes,
says
sir.
estimated residual value. Residual value means scrap value. Residual value means scrap value. Residual value is how much? It is 72,000. So we'll subtract that 72,000. And then we will divide this by life of the asset. Life of asset is how many years? Tell me. How many years
4 years.
is the life? 4 years. Done. This is it. Now we just need to subtract 72,000 and divide this amount by 4. 1,20,000 minus 72,000 divided by 4, we will be getting 12,000. So this will be our annual depreciation. Tell me if this is clear or not. This
Yes,
was
sir.
part A of the question, wherein we were required to find out the annual depreciation. One more thing is there that we need to find out, which is rate of depreciation, right? So for that, we'll do the working here, rate of depreciation is how we will be calculating that. Will be, sir, for that purpose we can just divide the amount of depreciation. In fact, annual depreciation divided by cost of asset into 100. So annual depreciation, which is calculated 12,000, and cost of asset as per our calculation is 1,20,000 into 100. That means and rate of depreciation is 10% per annum. Got it? Is it clear? Labiba, Manisha, is it clear? Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Still writing it or you're done?
For the last.
Just tell me if you want to scroll up. Done?
Yes, sir.
Okay then. So this was our first question. Let's move to the next question. Okay. This is question number 2. And it says on 1st of April 2016, X Limited purchased a machine costing 4 lakh and it spent 50,000 on its installation. And the estimated life of the machine is 10 years, after which its residual value is 50,000. Only find out the amount of annual depreciation according to the fixed installment method. That means the straight line method. And prepare machinery account for the first 3 years, assuming the books are closed on every 31st of March. All right. So as far as the formation of the machinery account is concerned, I'll do that for you. What I want from you is that you just find out the value of the depreciation. By applying the formula, just find out the amount of depreciation for this question. Let me know the value, and then we'll start with the formation of the machinery account for 3 years. All right, am I clear? Both of you?
Yes, sir.
All right, do that quickly, both of you. Labiba, Vanisha, find out the amount of depreciation for this question.
So we should find only the depreciation value or even the rate of depreciation.
Only depreciation. Not in this question,
That's
rate of depreciation is not required, Manisha. Done?
yes, sir.
Labiba, did you get the amount of depreciation?
Yes, sir.
Could you please tell me the value? How much is the amount of depreciation you have got, Labiba? Labiba, please tell me the answer. Labiba, please tell me the answer. Labiba, you are not audible. Please tell me the answer again. You can also write that in the chat section. Please do that. Tell me in the chat section. I'm not getting any audio from your side. Or else tell me the answer a little loudly. Manisha, could you also tell me the answer in the chat section, please?
Yes, sir.
Only in the chat
40,000.
section. Labiba, please tell me the answer now.
Sir, am I audible now?
Yes, you're audible.
Sir, is it 40,000?
Yes, that's right. 40,000 it is. Manisha, did you get 40,000 as well?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now this question also requires us to prepare the ledger for this question. Machinery account. It requires us to prepare the machinery account for this question. So let's do that. First of all, let's write down the date. I didn't make a column for the date especially, so I guess. All right, so I'm writing the date here only. On 1st of April 2016. All right, we have bought a machine. We bought machinery, na. So that means in that case, bank account will be debited for machinery. Bank account. We bought machinery for rupees 4 lakh. And apart from the purchase price, we also paid 50,000 expense for installation purpose. So that means bank account again for payment of the expense 50,000. So that means total value of the machine is 4,50,000. Got it? Is that right? And at the end of the year, as on
So
31st
why
of
is
March,
it the bank account?
by bank, because what do you think? What I should write? Machinery is increasing, na? Machinery, we bought machinery,
Yes,
so
sir.
we'll write down to bank only. What should I write here?
So what about cash? We don't.
Yeah, you can use cash account. That's your call. If you want to use cash account, you can use cash account.
So, sir, unless it is
Or,
given in the question, it is up to us, right? Whichever.
You have the option to write whether cash. If you want to write down cash, you can write down cash account or else bank. It is up to you. So this is the machine that we have bought at the beginning of the year, and at the end of the year, this machine will be subject to depreciation. So depreciation for the first year will be depreciation, since we have applied the straight line method. So depreciation will be reduced. For the first year, it will be 40,000. And after reducing the depreciation, remaining amount of machine will be, as on 31st of March 2016, remaining value of machine, this is called balance CD. Balance CD for machine will be 4,50,000 minus 40,000, that means 4,10,000. Is that clear to you? And this is how we will close the first year's account, 4,50,000. Okay. And we will carry forward this value in the next year as well. So on 1st of April next year, 2017, sorry, this should be 2016, no? 2017, sorry. 2017 and on 1st of April 2017, we will carry forward this value. This value will be carried forward next year. Right now, 4,10,000. And in the next year, we did not purchase any machinery. We will simply charge depreciation for this year. On 31st of March 2018, depreciation will be charged. What amount? 40,000 only. Because annual depreciation is 40,000. 40,000 will again be reduced. On 31st of March, closing balance of the machine will be this is called balance CD. Balance CD will be for this year, it will be 4,10,000 minus 40,000. Tell me. 3,70,000, is that right? Tell me, both of you are getting this or not?
Yes, sir.
Both of you are able to understand this now? 4,10,000. Labiba and Vanisha, please confirm.
Yes, sir.
You're able to understand this? Yes.
So I have one
And
doubt, like,
please tell me your
in the
doubt.
left side we are writing 1st April, and in the right side we are writing March. Why is that?
Beta, we are preparing this account for the 1 year period. Na? So at the beginning of the year, this is beginning of the year, it starts from 1st of April, right? And year ends on 31st of March. So at the end of every year, we will charge depreciation 40,000, and at the end of the year, after subtracting the amount of depreciation, we have to find out the closing value of that particular year. So this is the opening at the beginning of the year. 2017 value of the machine was 4,10,000. But after the completion of this year, value of the machine will further decrease by 40,000. And eventually at the last day of the year, it will be at 3,70,000 only. All right. And now we will carry forward this value to the next year. You understand this now?
Yes.
So this closing value will be carried forward to the next year as the opening balance of the next year. We'll write down 1st of April 2018. All right. And this will be the opening value. Let me, I made a mistake here. Instead of just writing down the date, I should write down to balance BD. Balance BD. If it is balance CD, this will be called balance BD. And again, this balance CD will be carried forward here, and we'll write this down as balance to balance. To balance BD, that will be 3,70,000. And we will charge depreciation for the year 2018 as well. We'll write this as 31st of March 2019. Depreciation will be 40,000 by depreciation. All right, and then finally, the closing balance as on 31st of March 2019, the closing balance will be 3,30,000. Understand, both of you?
Yes, sir.
So we were asked to prepare 3 years account. We were required to prepare machinery account for the first 3 years. So we prepared that starting from 1st April 2016 till 31st of March 2019. It's 3 years. You're still writing it? Both of you are done or still writing it?
So the last.
Last one, okay. Do it quickly. So this was the second question based on depreciation. And this is it for today's class. Inshallah, Biba. And make sure before attending the next class, you revise these concepts and only then try attending the next session. And
Yes, sir.
the question that we discussed in today's session, I would like you to practice this question again on your own. Try to solve this question one more time as a homework.
Yes, sir.
And let me see if I have any question that I can give you for the homework. All right, so take the screenshot of this question. Question number 3, please take a screenshot. I would like you to try this question as a homework. This will be a homework question. All right. So
yes, sir.
I'm sure both of you must have taken this screenshot. So this is it. So initial Adhika, now you can sign out the session. We'll discuss few more questions based on depreciation in the next session. Thank you so much. Take care. Bye-bye.
Thank you, sir.
Hello, Prerna. Shifa. Good evening.
Good evening, sir.
Good evening, sir.
So both of you will take. I'll just take 2 more minutes so that I can change the PowerPoint and then we'll start our session. All right.